What's up, family? Welcome to Grape Juice and God. I know you may ask the question, what is Grape Juice and God all about? Well, Revelation 12:11 says that they overcame by the blood of the Lamb and the word of the testimony. In these episodes of Grape Juice and God, you're going to hear some powerful testimonies of how ordinary people were able to overcome. We overcome by the blood of the Lamb. We are cleansed by that blood. And once we're cleansed by that blood, it's amazing to be able to share the testimony of what God has done for us. I pray that you're blessed by their testimonies and that you're reminded of the sacrifice that Christ made for you on Calvary. The grape juice represents the blood that was shed by Jesus. And now it's our time to be able to share that testimony. God bless you, and I hope you share this and enjoy. Welcome to our first episode of Grape Juice and God, titled Meet the McFaddens, where we share our joys, challenges, and beauty of raising a child with special needs. I pray that you enjoy it. God bless.
Hey, Dad, I have a question for you.
What's that, Carter?
Are you excited?
Man, more than you know. Are you ready to begin?
Yes.
All right, let's get into it. Welcome to another episode of Grape Juice and God. I am your host, Pastor Rodney McFadden. Today, this is going to be a very special day for me as I have my family here and we're going to interview them. Right here, right now, we got a cranberry grape juice. Do you like that?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go ahead and grab your cup. I'm going to toast you in and then we can begin, okay? How is that?
It's good.
Good. I don't want to drink it all because I tend to do that. As we begin with this episode, Carter, I'm so thankful that you are here with us. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, let's get it. Tell us your name.
My name is Carter, and I am 10 years old.
10 years old. And Mr. Carter, what do you like to do for fun?
I like to play basketball.
Like to play basketball. Are you good?
Yes.
Can you beat daddy?
Sometimes.
Negative. I'm about to ask you a question, and don't worry about Mr. Joey in the background. Who's the greatest basketball player of all time?
Michael Jordan.
All right, you got it. Good. Smart man. Carter, I know that you've accepted the opportunity to do this.
Mm-hmm.
You have a sister that has autism, special needs, and Mommy and I did a book together. My sister has superpowers. You're the star in there.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that book?
It's showing that I'm helping Journee.
It is. It is. I'm proud of you. Do you understand what it means to have a sibling with special needs? What does special needs mean?
She thinks differently.
Okay.
And some things that are easy for her and some things that are hard for her.
Okay. Some things that are hard and some things that are easy. That's a great explanation. What are some things that you like that Journee actually does that are just special?
I love her singing. Her art.
Her art. She's a great artist, right?
Yeah, she's a great artist.
I love that. And she's your big sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does she love you?
Yes.
So what are some things that she does how does she love on you?
Well, she says that she loves me
Okay.
and doing great things for me.
What are some things that may be kind of difficult for her Journee? Does she struggle with conversations sometimes?
A little bit, I would say. Yes.
All right. Understanding people.
Mm-hmm.
When you are like at the parks and stuff like that, or at church or school, do people sometimes stare?
I would say yes.
Maybe because they don't understand her fully?
Yes.
And I've seen you kind of protect her and try to make people understand, who she is and what she's all about. And I'm proud of you for that. What's some of the amazing things that she does for you?
She hugs me.
She hugs you? You like those hugs?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does she tickle you?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. You know one thing I like about that Journee does?
Mm-hmm.
She won't eat until you have your plate.
Uh-huh.
That's amazing to me that she sits there and she waits and she's like, no, I'm not going to eat until Carter's food is there. And then she waits for you and she prays you. Like that she waits for you?
Yes.
Yeah?
Mhm.
What are some things that we do that you like as a family?
I like when you take us out somewhere.
Okay. You and Journey sing together a lot. Do you like that?
Yes.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
Who's the better singer?
I think both of us.
Okay. that's a good that's a good answer. How do you help Journey around the house?
Cheer her up when she's sad.
Okay.
Um, Pray with her.
Mm,
Sing to her.
I like that. So how does Journey help you around the house?
When I'm sad, she said, "Don't worry, it's okay."
That's good. If I had to ask you a question, like
Mhm.
if there was something that you wanted people to know about siblings with special needs, what would you say? What do you want people to know?
Help them.
Help them?
Mhm.
Okay.
Love on them.
Mhm.
Give them what they want.
Give them what they want. Give them everything that they want?
No, like
Okay.
some, you know, give them what what they need.
Okay. You mean like supporting them?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. You and Journey go to the library a lot. Do you like that?
Yes.
And you help her out and support her in the library. So, what's
Uh-huh.
an example of helping her in the library? How could you do that? Or helping someone with special needs in the library?
Helping them to check out their books.
Okay. You can help them check. I love that. Checking out their books. What else?
Pick out their books.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Well, you want to pick out their books? You don't want.
no.
Okay.
Well, pick out the books they want.
Yeah.
Like I would say.
Okay. Help them
Oh
to choose
yes,
the books.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Help them to choose the book.
You know what? I'm going to give you your flowers right now. That's
Okay.
what we do on the show. We give people their flowers, but it's not real.
Mm.
That's imaginary flowers. I love you, and I want to thank you for all that you do for Journey.
Mhm.
You mean a lot to me and mommy. Appreciate you. You good?
Yeah,
Come give
I'm
me a
good.
hug and kiss. Love you. Hey, pretty girl.
Hey,
Can you tell us what your name is?
my name is Journey.
All right. How old are you, Journey?
I'm 13 years old.
13 years old. You look very pretty today.
Thanks.
Do you have your nails done?
Uh-huh.
Who did them for you?
Me.
You. Oh, you're such a big girl. I love it. Well, before we begin, since this is grape juice and God, we get to toast and have a drink. You ready for that?
Yes.
All right, so let's toast. All right. How's it taste?
Good.
Good. Journey, there's a big word, um, autism. Do you know what that means?
I have autism.
Oh, you do. Wow. What do you think that means?
I have talk about it.
You have. You have spoken about it. And Daddy and Mommy wrote a book about it. What's the name of that book?
My sister has superpowers.
You do some things that are really amazing. What are some things that you love to do that you're good at? What's your favorite thing to do?
My favorite thing is my food.
Your food, eating. Okay, you like eating. What about drawing?
I'm coloring pages.
Coloring pages. Yes, you like to do that. You know what I'm proud of you of though, Journey? You always take care of Carter.
Mm-hmm.
Is Carter your best friend?
My brother.
Yeah, your brother. Is he your best friend?
Yes.
He is. Do you hug him a lot?
Mm-hmm.
Does he hug you back?
Yes.
Yeah. I want to ask you a question. I love how your mother takes care of you. You love your mommy?
Mm-hmm.
If you could say thank you to your mommy, would you tell her what would you say?
Of my lollipop.
Oh, you want thank you, mommy, for my lollipops?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I like that. So you want some more lollipops?
Mm-hmm.
I owe you a lollipop for this. Journey, you have an amazing voice. You love to sing. What's one of your favorite songs?
Goodness of God.
The Goodness of God. Can you give us a little bit of the goodness of God?
'Cause all my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. So I will sing of the goodness of God.
Amen. Beautiful, beautiful. You have an amazing voice, Journey. Listen, I want to tell you, Daddy loves you so much. I'm so proud of who you are. I'm not going to give you flowers like I gave Carter. I'm going to give you some lollipops. How about that?
Yes.
Your lollipop right now is that you're amazing, and thank you for sharing your testimony.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you.
Is there anything else that you would like to say to the people who are watching?
Yes.
What about your favorite Bible verse?
For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believed in him should not perish but have everlasting life. John 3:16.
Love you, Journey. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm so happy for this episode of Grape Juice and God with none other than my best friend, my pain in my heart when she's not around, my rib, Mrs. Denise McFadden.
Hello, everybody.
We welcome you to the podcast of Grape Juice and God. And like we always do, we want to toast this cranberry grape juice. Here's to you. Gonna be a deep conversation. Miss Denise. Are you nervous?
A little bit, yes.
I figured. You're gonna be all right. You look good.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, well, appreciate you. So, Denise, how did you and I meet?
We met in college during our basketball years.
Basketball years. Were you a good basketball player?
I was decent.
You were decent. That's true. How was I?
You were decent.
I was decent.
I think we were on two opposite sides in our schools.
Yeah.
And then when we finally met, I think after I had prayed and asked God what type of man I wanted, you checked all those boxes.
Oh, you wanted Denzel?
No.
Okay.
No.
I checked those boxes.
Yes.
You said we were on the opposite sides of the of college. What were those opposite sides?
I think we just had different people that we hung with.
Yeah.
You were part of the acting group. You were part of the choir and things like that. And my friends weren't necessarily in that. So
It's a good political.
yeah, it is.
I like
It
politically
is.
correct answer. I love it. So we fell in love and we got married in Dominican Republic.
Yes, we did.
Right? Do you have Dominican heritage?
Yes, both of my parents are from the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. And we go there often.
Yes,
Do you
we do.
enjoy it when we go?
I love it. It's my homeland.
All right. So we got married and we had 2 kids. We lost a daughter,
Yes, we
first
did.
daughter, Zaya.
hmm
What was that experience like for you?
Painful.
Mm.
I just guess it was an experience to kind of open up the wanting to be a mom, but it was also a rough time for us. And it was just, something that we grew from. And then God blessed us with 2 beautiful kids now. So
2 beautiful kids. They look like their mother.
and their dad too.
Okay. All right. Did you always want to be a mom?
No, I did not.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think when we were at the beginning of our marriage, I felt that I was selfish. I didn't think I was ready for motherhood.
Mm.
I felt like I didn't know what it was to be a mom, so I kind of just didn't want to go there. But when it happened, then I realized, okay, it kind of just like hit me. And then, you just step up to that plate.
So we have 2 kids. A couple of years into Journee, our oldest being born, she was diagnosed with autism. What was that, finding out that news?
I think for every parent, you have a dream for your child and you kind of like, see them doing things. So when you finally understand that things may not be as you imagined it or dreamed of, it kind of is like a grieving moment for you because you feel like the child that you had in your mind will not be. But God definitely blessed because he's given us so much more than what I thought we would, what I wanted for myself.
Mm. What were some of the things that Journey struggled with? Or did you know that there was something different?
I think at the beginning, I didn't know she was our first, so I didn't have anything to compare it to. I always asked my mom if she saw any difference, and she would always reassure me everything was fine. But the one thing that always stuck out was she sung and she always hummed. That was like her thing. And she was really good with memorizing words and things like that. So I didn't really see that there was an issue until it became, time to that development point where you see that 1-year old start forming those words or starts communicating with you. And when we got there, that's when we kind of knew.
It was interesting. I used to love to hear her at such a young age be able to sing the words to every song. That was sweet for me. It was like we knew she was special, um, and still is. Let me ask you: were there things that she struggled with?
I think Journey was always very smart and capable in like so many things. She was adventurous like every other child.
Mhm.
Um, it just didn't hit me until, that developmental time where you go to your pediatrician and they ask questions. And I didn't realize that she wasn't able to express or communicate as other kids her age.
Mm.
So I didn't understand that until it presented itself.
Mm.
I mean, I did see that she spent a lot of time, if I called her a couple of times, she didn't come,
Right.
but I thought, kids ignore you. It's the norm. But then we, realized that, you know.
I want to take you back. I remember being, I think it was a Friend Center, and we went to see the doctor, and I remember asking the question at the end. What was going through your mind when I asked that question?
I think by that point, God had already prepared me. And I think I had already further along, I've already was prepared to what was going to come. So when you asked the question and they confirmed it, it's already like something God had prepared me for, and I knew what the answer would be. And then as you also brought it to my attention before I saw it. And so when we kind of noticed that, she was not saying her name, for example, like we would ask her, "What's your name?" And she would just echolalia, which is, repeating what you say. She would say, "What's your name?" And she didn't know how to say her name at that point. Or they would ask her, the colors. She knew them, but she didn't know how to express those things at that point.
So you became Mama Bear. Like I just remember immediately after that, you began just with the food and the diet, and you just took over. Like it was for me in my mind, I never felt like you um, either struggled. I don't want to say accepting it, but struggled with love. Like there was no, this is my child. I'm gonna take care of her, and you jumped right in. Where did that come from? That drive.
I think when we took her to the pediatrician and I saw that it was more like a back and forth seesaw type of communication with the speech therapist. I just didn't see that it was a natural thing, and that kind of hurt because it was like, give her this and then she'll respond to that. And I know that's part of the process. And so that first time that we went, I went home and, cried and I prayed and I asked God, is how it's going to be? Do I have to feed her the sentences? Do I have to feed her the words?
Mm.
And God answered within that week. Someone came into a Facebook group, and I think I asked a question, and they sent a video. And the video was about diet, about food.
Mm.
It was by Dr. Reed.
Okay.
She's a biochemist,
Sorry,
and her
Dr. Reed.
daughter also was experiencing some of the things that Journey was going through. So when I saw the video and I saw what she spoke about, and then at the end I saw how her daughter then and what happened afterwards as she administered the new diet and the foods, how it helped her.
Mm.
I felt like that was an answer to me that God had given me. We didn't stop with the speech therapy, but I felt that was an addition for us.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, and we know that that's what opened the doors for Journey to be her best version.
Sure. There were milestones. Like I am all about reading, and and us being teachers, I'm looking at these milestones and I'm like, okay, when is she supposed to hit this? For me, you were always explaining to me don't worry about the milestones. Can you kind of explain that?
I think she wasn't behind other kids per se, like really behind. I remember we had a friend and she had a daughter, and then Journey would probably be a couple of weeks behind if she crawled, or if something, teething would be a couple of weeks. So it was never like this huge gap where it was noticeable for us to see that. So that's why I say, let's not worry about that, because all kids grow at their own pace, and that's what she did. But the huge portion that when we hit the roadblock was her communication, which was the expressive part of it.
Right. She started to flourish with what you were doing, and speech was just amazing. What are some things that Journey even does now or did back then that was just a blessing to you, that you were like, oh, thank God, I can see these things?
Well, I remember because she sang so much, we knew what her voice sounded like as a tune, but I didn't know what her speech voice sounded like. Mm-hmm. And so as time went on and we continued with speech therapy, and we did the Dr. Reed protocol, which is the Reed program, and we started to implement those things. Eye contact, we got words, her asking for things, which was amazing to me, calling me mommy. And I remember the first time that she said, I love you. So those things that God, I didn't foresee God, was able to give us in such a short amount of time. Mm-hmm. And as we see now, she's 13, and there's so many things that she's blossomed into, that she's grown into, mm-hmm. That just had come with, I think, being persistent and continuing with the things that are working for her.
I think it took me, I thought I had processed it like, you did, but I didn't. And then I think as you go along in the journey, you realize some things that when they come up, you start processing. So we were living in Tampa, and I started to, I don't want to say being depressed, but just kind of thinking about what Journey's life was going to be, how she's going to be when she grows up, because she was doing these amazing things, but I was still worried. And I had the idea one night. I brought it to you about the book. And when I brought you the idea about the book, what did you feel? How were your emotions there?
At that point, I wasn't ready. I wouldn't say I was in denial. I just didn't want to share our business with the world. Right. I mean, we knew the diagnosis. Mm-hmm. We knew what we were dealing with. We just didn't express that to other people, maybe our close friends and family. But I didn't feel comfortable with sharing that. We were in the thick of it. We had just started, implementing the diet, working with her consistently. Mm-hmm. And so I just didn't feel that it was the right time. And that's part of me. I didn't want to share that with anyone. So
how did you get to the point? How did you get to that point where you're like, all right, I'm willing to share it? I mean, besides me pulling and tugging,
my husband,
and praying.
Could be a little pushy.
And praying. God gave me this.
Right. I think I did see the vision. And I think I had in my mind what I felt, as we all do. I wanted to share my testimony of Journey when it came. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, I had the idea of what it was going to be. But I didn't see that it was coupled with the book. Mm-hmm. And so when you and our person that was helping, shout out to Shanoa, she helped us get to that part where we both could see how to work together to make it come to flourishing, or to come to completion. And as I saw that, it gave me the steps, to be able to, okay, let me work on this little by little. Mm. And honestly, as we finished it and completed it, it was kind of like a weight was lifted, because I didn't realize that I can't share a testimony if I don't put a name to it. Mm. You can't talk about cancer if you don't say this person had cancer. You can't talk about certain things if it doesn't have a name to it. And I think that was the issue for me, is putting the name to it.
So putting a name to it, you mean autism?
Correct.
Saying that. It was interesting because tonight, mm-hmm. I'd never heard Journey say that. I'm Journey, I have autism. Yeah. And I almost broke down because I've never heard her express that. So if you don't know, Denise did all the illustrations. She's a beautiful, wonderful artist. And so I brought you the sketches, my little stick fingers drawings. It was horrible. But I brought it and I had done it out. I had taken it out, and I was like, all right, Denise is struggling with this. I'm going to send it out to some other illustrators. And I did that. And then I came home and you had illustrated the cover.
Yeah, just drew Journey and Carter together. And I think I put it like on a little mug for Father's Day.
Yes.
Just kind of sketched it on there and I gave it to you. It just popped up in my head, kind of going with what you had written. So I guess that was like part of a little bit of me saying, okay, I think I'm a little bit ready to get on board. But it was hard. It was hard.
But you did it. I'm proud of you.
It was God. It was God. As like you're saying, with the prayer and nudging, and then me seeing that it was going to be bigger than just sharing our story would be bigger in terms of helping someone else or helping another family that has gone through it or who may have stumbled upon the information. And even those who don't have kids with special needs, it's a tool to help them learn about that and to teach them. And I think for me, that's one of the biggest things, is to help others navigate how to deal with Journey. Because it's always the other way around. The therapies, ABBA, all of these things is to help them, acclimate to our world. But I think sometimes we need to also see, how they operate on a day-to-day basis.
So the book comes out, we're able to get it out. And it was confirmation for me because, it got in every ABC, Adventist Book Center, and it's still there. And people get to see that story. What was interesting to me was I love to speak, I love to talk.
I don't.
But when we got the opportunity to travel and go kind of before COVID hit, to be able to share that was amazing to me. It was confirmation that God wanted us to do this, because I thought about doing ministry, but never together.
Yeah.
And that allowed for not only us to do it, but for us to have the kids do it as well. But you began to speak then, and with confidence. What was that like? Like, why were you able to open up, I guess?
Seeing the other parents, people coming up, asking questions, people sharing that they have nephews or nieces that, are on the spectrum or even any type of special needs. I didn't realize that it was something that I needed to do as the mom, that all the work that we put in, that it was able to go ahead and help someone in the community. And also, sharing it like when we did with the other schools. For example, when you were able to read the book in the library and all the kids huddled around her and they were able to see who she was, not only in the illustrations, but in real life. So that was just something that really touched my heart, that it was able to not share her in a positive light to the world, that they're able to understand who she is.
When we were first bringing Journey to church and first bringing Journey around people, there were stares. There were people who just didn't understand. I even remember people saying, "Oh, we just need to discipline her." What did that feel like to you?
I think back then it was frustrating. We didn't have an outlet. I think church for me was that outlet. So, when we would go and of course, we had to bring the kids, I would try to find places where we would not be seen or heard, because at that time she did do some of the scripting, and sometimes she would do the noises. And I would try to, be discreet and things like that. We weren't always welcomed, but I felt that I needed to go, because for me, going to church was an outlet, and it's also, to fill up my cup with God, outside of being home all the time. So when those things did happen, it was negative, negative feeling about it, but I just realized that there's a lot of teaching that needs to be done in those areas. But then also God opened up, when we moved to a different church, how open and welcome they were with us. So not every church is like that, is what I'm trying to say. Not every place that you go to may not understand. It just depends on where you are. Some people do have a great community for kids with special needs, and some areas just may need help developing that, so that those around you may understand that. So when we did finally move to a different place, and Journey was even part of the praise team with the grown-ups, they allowed her to sing with them. They saw what she was good at, and they allowed her to flourish in that. So now that we're, in a different place where you're pastoring, we've been blessed not only to have her be part of, the singing at the church. We have a homeschool co-op. She's a part of a lot of things that in the past, and I think too with time, because every season is different. She's older, she's able to do more, and we're able to, allow her to just be herself.
I asked Carter this question, like, what are some of the things that you just really love that she does? I mean, she does so many amazing things, but for you?
I think one of the amazing things that she does, she's in tune with people's feelings. She knows when you're sad, she knows when you're happy. And so she's a reminder to me. She's always has either a song in her heart or a Bible verse for you. So those are one of the biggest things. Her strength, she's been through so much and you would never know. And she's just willing to do things, to try new things. And then I just see the talents that she has,
So you answered that about Journee. What are some special things, exciting things that you love about Carter, our son?
Carter came at the exact time when we started to navigate this. And I think God made him just for Journee and Journee just for him. They're like best friends. He was always the one who knew what she said before we knew. He was her interpreter. He's the big little brother. He, likes to help in terms of making sure that she's safe. He likes to check on her. Sometimes we have to say, okay, you're a kid, let us handle it. But he's very in tune with who she is. They play together, sing together. There's just a lot of memories that we have of them. He's a natural caretaker. He's a natural, always concerned, making sure her, she's doing well. He's definitely funny.
Yeah.
He's our little comedian. He loves jokes, now that he's learned how to tell them, since you bought him that little joke book. He's curious. He wants to learn so much. So he's always asking questions. He's always wanting to know things. And once he knows things, he's a pro at those things. It's just a blessing to have both of them.
You and I have been on a very interesting journey, very interesting ride. And on this podcast, I usually give people their flowers, but they're not real. It's in talking. I want to tell you that you mean so much to this family. You mean so much to me, and your strength throughout this whole process has just been, I don't even have the words to describe. You're an excellent mother.
Thank you.
You're an excellent wife. You carry this family, and we would not be the same without you. So I just want to thank you, tell you how much I love you, and I thank you for doing this podcast as well. So if you had to say something to parents who are maybe struggling with accepting this, or just some advice to parents of children with special needs, what would you say?
I would say that definitely you need to have a community, be self-aware, aware of your children, their wants and their needs. And that's any child. It doesn't have to be just with special needs. But first and foremost, have a really good connection with God, because he's going to be your ultimate strength. You have your community, but when the doors are closed, you're in your home by yourself. And so God has definitely been that rock for us, and how to navigate just being parents, let alone having a child with special needs. I would definitely let parents know to ask for help. It's hard. And sometimes, you get caught up in your day-to-day and in your little bubble that you forget that you can allow people in to help, whether it's, it's hard, the babysitting thing, or even, caring, but come in, bring something for them to eat, Let people help you in the best ways that are, can help you in the family. Seek definitely alternative ways. There's speech therapy. Yes, there's ABBA. Yes, there's so many other things, but really look to see if there are things that you can help in our situation, diet, to help your child flourish and be the best version of themselves. I feel that by listening to God's leading in that portion, it has given Journee her voice, not just her singing voice, but her speaking voice. We now know how she feels. We now know her needs because she expresses them to us. She may not speak as much as she does with us, with others, because she's also she knows, who to let in, and when she's in her own environment, she's just herself. But I think we just need to really help our children be the best versions of themselves. And there are different ways to do that.
I love it. Denise McFadden, you've been a great guest.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being a part of the podcast. I love you. I'm going to break the camera rule here and give you a kiss. It was amazing to be able to have my family here to share our personal testimony to you all. I pray and hope that you were blessed hearing our story. If you're interested in getting a copy of our book, My Sister Has Superpowers, you can go to McFaddenMinistries.com and purchase your copy of this amazing book. The author, Rodney McFadden, the illustrator, Denise McFadden, and the story, Carter and Journee McFadden. As we look to inspire others, I want to leave you with this. Remember to lean not on your own understanding, but trust God in all things. He is the one that can bring you through. And for any of those people who are struggling and need hope, I'm praying for you, and God bless you. To view all of our content, subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at McFadden Ministries.